So in part 1 we have seen that there is a conflict between God and Baal, and it's about who is feeding the people. And if you put yourself in the position of God for a moment, you'll realize how offending and grievous this is. God is orchestrating the heavens and the earth to give His people water, seed to sow, and gives growth to all the plants. And at the end, He has to see all the praise go to a lifeless piece of wood. It's kind of like a musician who writes a song for the love of his life and then gets this song stolen, only to see that another admirer sings the song and gets all the credit. We humans hate when somebody steals our glory, and God even more. So God calls a faithful man to speak for Him, Elijah, whose name is "My God is the Lord." And he goes to Ahab and tells him that God will demonstrate that He is the weather God in withholding rain for 3 years. Now obviously, you can't break the economy and get away with it. So God warns Elijah to flee from Ahab's persecution to a creek, and God feeds him there through a raven. Now, it sounds a bit ludicrous, but if you believe God created ravens in the first place, why should God not be able to tell a raven to bring food to Elijah? But why does God use a raven? There's a deep spiritual lesson that God wants to give Elijah and us through sending a raven to feed Elijah. First, the raven speaks of loneliness. So God speaks to Elijah's heart to comfort him and showing him that He understands that he's lonely. And secondly, ravens, in a symbolic sense, are an instrument of judgment for those who mock their fathers. Israel had mocked her father by denying the fact that it was him who had cared for her and given her rain and thus food over the years, and in consequence, she lost spiritual sight. Thirdly, the raven is an unclean carnivore bird without any loyalty. The most vivid example is probably the raven from Noah's Ark. Remember when Noah sent it out of the ark to see whether the waters had receded? The raven didn't come back, while the dove came back. That's because, in contrast to the dove, the raven practically eats everything and thus found enough food from floating carcasses. So God uses this unclean, wild and faceless creature to show Elijah His sovereignty. He demonstrates that even the raven obeys God, and not to eat the bread and meat if He tells him to. But the fourth point is probably the most important one. God explicitly says in the Psalms and the book of Job that He cares about the raven. He hears the cry of the little ravens when they cry for food. So this is a reminder for Elijah and God telling him, "Elijah, I'm your life insurance. You have put your trust in me, and I will not abandon you, as much as I will not abandon this raven bird." So maybe you are in a similar situation, like your marriage seems hopeless, maybe you are financially broke, or you're bullied at work, whatever. God wants to tell you, I care about you. I care about you as much as I care about the ravens. Jesus Christ put it this way, "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor your body, what you'll put on. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouse nor barn, and yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds?" Thank you so much for watching this video. If you think we earned your subscription and you want to learn more from the Bible with Crosspaint, please subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment below and give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. This will improve the video's ranking and give the possibility to many more people to see it. Thank you so much for your support, and God bless.